Hello there, friends, and welcome to episode 83 of That One Gaming Podcast. My name is Colin, but I'm otherwise known as Delicious Morsels, and here with me today is Lucas, aka Carnevil9. How's Lucas today?
I'm doing good.
All right, we've also got Neal here, better known as BMK89. How is Neal today?
I'm actually an X-parasite copy of Neal, not the real Neal.
What?
Oh, that's concerning.
I'm doing pretty swell.
Swell, indeed, I hope. Anyway, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, or one of the many other podcasting platforms out there, where the three of us get together every other week to talk about a variety of topics in the world of gaming. And this week, we are discussing the fourth mainline entry in the Metroid series, That One Game, Metroid Fusion. Released on November 18 of 2002, the same day as Metroid Prime, Metroid Fusion was a direct sequel to 1994's Super Metroid. In the game, Samus is called to investigate an outbreak of a malicious alien parasite known as Twitter. I mean X. It was called the parasite was called X.
Yep.
They did it
Yeah.
Geez, they did it 20 years before Elon Musk ruined Twitter. Anyway, in a slight departure from the open-ended exploration of the series to date, Metroid Fusion chose a more linear, story-driven approach, perhaps to make it more easily digestible given its release on a handheld platform like the Gameboy Advance. But before we get into discussing our main topic, we like to talk about the games we've been playing since the last episode. So, Lucas, what have you been playing?
I've been dipping into Mother 3, another much beloved Game Boy Advance game.
Aha.
I'm currently about... I just started Chapter 4 earlier today.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been fun going back through that game, because I haven't played it since 2009, I think it was, when the English localization patch first initially released.
Hot dang.
Yeah. Yep. I still remember, like, the day that it came out, like, I was checking the mother3.fabi.net website blog thing where they were kind of keeping track of progress for people, and I remember seeing, like, translation patch coming out later today. It's like, what? So yeah, needless to say, when I got home, I downloaded the patch, applied it to the Mother 3 ROM that I had been hanging on to with for however long it was, and yeah, started playing through that. Like when I got home from school that day, and then I haven't actually been playing the game itself, but I've been like binging like Doom lore or Doom analysis content from like Decino and that Nukem guy on YouTube, and it's kind of given me the urge to fire up Doom again, because it's been a while and I want to play Doom. So yeah, Doom coming soon.
Doom.
And then more Rubik's cubing and new personal best for a 2x2 through 7x7 marathon of 28 minutes and 3 seconds.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
What has Neal been up to?
I've been playing Metroid Fusion, of course. But also, last weekend, me and Lucas figured out how to get the Sonic Ring Shuffler working.
Yeah.
What is the name of this? All-Star something. But yeah, it's a variation on the BizHawk Shuffler, designed mainly for Sonic games, where the shuffling is dependent on your ring count. So if you grab a ring in any way, whether it's from an item box, just one lying on the ground, or you've lost all your rings and they're spraying down on you, the game switches to a different game. it's quite a bit more jarring than the BizHawk Shoveler that just occasionally changes. Like, you can make it pretty fast, but like it's regular interval speed. Going through loops that are filled with rings, and it's switching every time. If you get multiple of your games doing that at the same time, it's ridiculous to watch. It's both jarring and hilarious at the same time. At some point, me and Lucas are going to be doing a stream of us racing with the Genesis games. Since I kind of have an edge on being notably good at the Genesis games, I'm trying to stay away from those, so I'm just sticking to the advanced games, which are just as hectic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll mention it actually does work with a bunch of other games too. Lucas had it running on Metroid, where any pickup you pick up, like missiles or energy tanks or power bombs, that's when it switches. And there's a whole list of them too.
Yep.
That are compatible.
Yeah, the night we got it working, I think I had like Sonic Genesis for the Game Boy Advance, Super Mario Brothers 1, Metroid, and I think a few different revisions of Sonic 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it works with a lot of different games. It gets very chaotic, especially compared to a regular like BizHawk shuffler.
Mm-hmm. Some other games to note: Puyo Puyo is one of them. Bubsy.
Why?
Kid Icarus, Dr. Mario, and Alex Kidd.
Huh.
So yeah, there's some interesting ones.
I think it does Tetris as well. So you
You
do
could
like
Puyo Puyo Tetris.
yeah, Puyo Puyo, Tetris, and Dr. Mario all together would be great.
Yeah, it would be. I got to do that at some point. I'm not great at those games, but it would be very interesting.
Yeah. I love good puzzle game.
Yeah.
I wonder if Yoshi's Cookie is in there. That'd be fun to throw in too.
Is that SNES or NES?
I think there was a release for both. I've only played the Super Nintendo version, if there is more than one.
Yoshi's Cookie. Nope. I don't see Yoshi's Cookie. Bummer. Oh, dang. Super Mario 64.
Yeah, there was a... that... huh.
But anyway, I digress. Colin, what have you been playing?
Basically, just a new game that came out for the PS5 recently called Ghost of Yote. This game has absorbed my life. It has consumed my life. I can't put it down. It's so incredibly good. I am at like 43 hours as of this morning.
Wow.
I can't stop. I'm getting close to the end of the game, but like I'm just taking my time, just exploring everything. It's the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, if the title didn't already kind of give it away. But it's not like a direct, like this takes place immediately after type thing. It actually takes place like centuries later, where Ghost of Tsushima was like 1500s Japan, I think, 1600s. This is more 1800s Japan, so they have more, they're still like pretty feudal in their armaments and stuff. Like there's still samurai and stuff, but they're starting to incorporate firearms and stuff like that into their technology, stuff like that. So there's guns in the game and stuff. But God, it's so good. It follows the main character. Her name is Atsu, and basically the whole premise of the game is it's a revenge tale that she, in her childhood, watched her family get brutally murdered by these 6 mercenaries who basically called themselves the Yote Six. And basically she spent her entire young life trying to prepare herself to enact revenge on these 6 people and stuff. So by the time she finally returns to her homeland to seek out this revenge plan and enact it and stuff, she'd had already been like a hardened mercenary herself at that point. But God, it's so good. I don't know what else to say other than it's very, very good. Like, the story is phenomenal. The gameplay is just Tsushima gameplay, which was already good, but just all the parts that were a little bit iffy, they tightened up. I found an armor set that I've been using pretty much for this entire game. That was an armor set that they introduced in the DLC for Tsushima originally, where basically it disables all of your normal parries, so you can only perfect parry, or you get hit hard. And to kind of alleviate that a little bit, it also like increases the window of opportunity for you to actually hit a perfect parry. But still, it's still not as easy as just like a regular traditional parry is and stuff. The regular parries are very forgiving. A perfect parry is not, because what makes it perfect is you're hitting that input right at the literal last second before an attack connects. So even like opening that window up a little bit still makes it very challenging. And I'm getting slapped around a lot because of that, especially like some weapon types. I just cannot get the parry timing down at all. For some reason, I am terrible at parrying spears, especially. So whenever an enemy comes at me with the spear, I'm just like, oh God, I'm going to take a lot of damage before I finally kill this guy. Yeah, I usually do. But yeah, it's so fun. The world is so fun to explore. There's a giant Mount Yotei always in the backdrop and stuff. So I've been taking like dozens of screenshots in the photo mode. Most of them have Yotei in the background. It's like I'm doing that thing that I did with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth when I got to the Junon area, and just every single screenshot I took was just like my character standing with the Junon cannon somewhere in the backdrop. It's like I'm doing that again, but with just Mount Yotei. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. It's probably the game I've been looking forward to most out of all years. So I'm really taking my time with it. Yeah. And I've been waiting 5 years since Ghost of Tsushima for this game, and it's definitely been worth the wait.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. The story, especially getting later on into the story, is getting really, really good as well. Like, and everything, even the side content, feels like it has purpose in this as well. Because the thing with these games also is they're kind of like the Ubisoft style of open world game, where there's just a bunch of stuff everywhere, like little activities and stuff that give you like little upgrades and things like that. But like, what's nice about how the Ghost series does it is they don't put all that stuff in your face with like icons and stuff like that. It's like you literally just follow the wind to where you're going. There's no like icons popping up on the screen or anything. There's no like mini map or anything. It's all just the wind guiding you to where you want to go and stuff like that. So it's I said it before. It's like I probably, when I was talking about Tsushima, it's like I hate when people are like, oh, but this ruins my immersion. I hate using the term immersion when talking about video games. I don't know. I just, some people put way too much emphasis on it when a game is supposed to be a game. Just play it, have fun. Like, the immersion aspect, in my opinion, should be secondary to just having fun. And if you feel like you need to be immersed to have fun, I feel like maybe like reconsider that a little bit and just think about having fun first. Anyway, like, just the way that it doesn't flood your screen with icons and stuff does make it a little bit easier to get immersed in the experience, if you will. But yeah, it like, I don't even know if I can say I'm really that burnt out on open world games now after putting over 40 hours into this one. But like, it's a well done style open world game, so I think that helps. But I do think that by this point now, I've kind of distanced myself from that genre enough that it doesn't feel so burnt out, which is kind of why I was able to go from 40 hours in Tsushima 2 months ago to 40 plus hours in Yote now. I don't know, but I also just really love these two games in particular, so that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost of Yote it's fantastic. Highly recommend this game. And Tsushima. I found some references to Tsushima in this game today that I can't talk about because I want people to experience them for themselves, but it's special. It's really, really special. Yeah, that's that. Go play Ghost of Yote if you have a PlayStation 5. And if you don't have a PlayStation 5, but you have a PC, when it comes
Visit
to
your nearest
PC,
bathroom.
well, but it'll probably be on PC next year. 2027 at the latest. But when it does come to PC, definitely check it out. Or just go buy a PlayStation 5. Because
you can find them in bathrooms.
You can.
Yep. Report to the nearest Meyer bathroom and you'll find one.
Yeah. Worked for me 4 years ago during the Great Shortage. Turns out that's where they were hiding them the whole time.
Yep.
In the bathroom. Anyway. Yeah, that's what I've been playing. Just literally just Ghost of Yote. I started Metroid Fusion while we were on our way out to see Dream Theater, Lucas. I had my Switch with me and I started it, played a little bit of the intro, and that was it. And then I completely forgot that today we were recording this episode.
Until I posted the "Hey listeners,"
and then I was like, "Oh." Luckily, I have played and completed this game.
It's a good game.
It's just been several years at this point, because I think I played Fusion in the lead up to Metroid Dread, I think is when I bought it.
That sounds
I'm pretty
about
sure, because I remember they announced Metroid Dread, and then that was when I finally sat down and played through and finished Super Metroid for the first time. And then after that, I got Fusion for my Game Boy Advance and played through it on that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's the timeline. So it's been a few years, but yeah. But I have played and beaten the game.
It's a very good game.
It is a very good game. But anyway,
for our listener,
before we talk about that ourselves, we have a listener that would like to talk about it, because it's "Hey listeners."
Hey, listen!
Anyway, each episode we ask our Discord members a prompt based on the topic of the episode. And if you're listening and you want to join, you can join our Discord down below, and you can write into the next episode, where I probably might. Well, we're not playing a game for the next episode, so I don't have to worry about forgetting to play that game. So we're good. Anyway, so our write-in for this week comes from Jazzy, who writes, "Metroid Fusion is great. I know it gets a lot of hate for being more linear, or at least a more guided experience, and less wander around until you figure it out, but it's a ton of fun to play. Samus's new suit is great, and the horror aspect introduced by the SAX is truly unsettling. I remember feeling some of the boss fights were exceptionally difficult compared to the rest of the game, but overall I had a great time playing Fusion, and it's probably my second or third favorite 2D Metroid." Thank you, Jazzy, for your write-in.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about Metroid Fusion.
Should we start with the harder bosses?
There were some pretty hard bosses in this game.
Yeah. I would like to know what you guys think are the hard bosses.
I think
SAX. I did not beat SAX.
Yeah, the SAX is kind of tough because it does have a tendency to just like all out blitz you.
Its hit it takes like an energy tank and a half.
Yeah.
Don't get hit.
Yeah.
I was using the rewind the whole time, and I was still super struggling.
Neat trick for that is that if it hits you while you're in spin attack, it doesn't deal damage to you.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
That wasn't
from what I remember when I played it, the bosses that I struggled with the most, I think, were Nightmare
Mm-hmm.
and that one. It's like a dragon or something that's all flying around.
Ooh, Ridley?
No, not
Ridley?
Ridley. No, it was like
If you didn't know that was Ridley, I'd be slightly upset.
no. I think it was this game that had it. You're standing at there's like 3 platforms in the room and it goes
Oh.
around in circles in the room. Was that
Sarah.
the
Oh.
Yeah.
Sarah.
That was Fusion,
Yeah.
right?
And the you get the speed booster from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
struggling against that one and Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Ceres
had a lot
is
of
rough.
trouble with Nightmare as well. I think
And yeah, like
Nightmare's
it-
an easy boss for me. The one I struggle with is the Yakuza, which is the
Oh.
giant. It's the spider that spits fireballs at you. That you get the space jump from.
Hmm.
It's the one you fight in the on the way to activate the auxiliary power core when the vines take over everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do not like big spider. Yeah. Yakuza was rough. Always is. Like mostly because if you're not careful about it while it's zigzagging around, if it catches you in its front claws, it will pick you up and attack you, and then it will start its sort of main attack loop all over again without giving you a chance to deal damage to it. Because you can only shoot it when its mouth is open. Yeah. That was rough.
oh yeah, okay, I remember that spider.
Yeah, the spider sucks.
It is literally just called Yakuza X.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, yeah,
Oh, this guy.
Nightmare, I just
Okay.
couldn't get a handle on the hitbox on that thing for the first couple times I tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because when it starts out, it's really annoying to get to a space where you can hit that.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to take out the gravity generator underneath it in order to sort of start the main battle phase. Because yeah, the Nightmare's whole gimmick is that it controls gravity, which is appropriate because it's the boss you get the gravity suit from.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Nightmare was the one that I swore and said, "Blank you, Nightmare." Posting the
Yeah.
gravity suit gets.
Yep. Yeah. I think it's during that very first phase before you destroy its gravity generator thing.
Mhm.
You just can't shoot missiles at it because
Mhm.
the gravity in the room pulls them down.
Pulls it down. Yep.
Yeah. Just drops them to the ground and yeah. So you have to do the first phase with just your charge shots.
He's also
Not
kind
even
of
shriek.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at video of him, I'm remembering this.
Yep.
What was this game rated?
E, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was 6, I would get, nightmares.
Yeah. Yeah, Nightmare's mask falling off and you just see the big slimy face.
That turns more and more to goop as it takes damage.
Yeah.
Gross. Oh, just in general, I think I mentioned this to somebody, whether it was Lucas or somebody else, that I kind of found it annoying that after you beat a boss, you then also have to
Fight
Beat a
another
beat
boss.
the X-perience. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Especially annoying for the ones that give you the beam upgrades, like elephant. Well, I guess not really elephant bird because elephant bird, the boss fight is the core X, but later on when you during the reactor core meltdown where you have to race deep into the pyro sector, and fight the zombie crew member that turns into a Korax, or a Netori when you get the plasma beam, or Box X where you get the wave beam. Those turn into special variants of the Core X that you can't damage them except for when they open up their eye before they shoot a beam attack at you.
Yeah, I actually was under the impression that they were all like that, but
fortunately, no. Yeah, it's just the ones that you get the beam weapons from, which also includes SAX at the very end. Yeah, during your final showdown with the SAX, after its mutated phase, then it becomes a beam core X that has the ice beam, which, deals damage to Samus like crazy, because Samus is extra weak to ice attacks in this game, because drum roll, bad rim shot, Metroid Fusion. So yeah, at the very beginning of the game, Samus is guiding some lab researchers and soldiers on planet SR-38H, the original homeworld of the Metroids. And she gets infected by an unknown parasite, later known to be the X-perience. And it starts taking over her suit and such, and they have to, emergency surgically remove her power suit from her. And it seemed like she wasn't going to make it until a sample of the baby Metroid that was Samus originally found on SR-388 and then dies at the end of Super Metroid, is used to create a cure, because the Metroids are the X-Parasite's natural predators.
What do you know?
Yeah. So they give Samus this Metroid serum treatment, and it cures her of her X-Parasite infection. But in doing so, it alters her DNA, so she is now part Metroid. And as such, she inherits the Metroid's weakness to cold temperatures, including things like the ice beam, or just cold environments in general.
Yeah, I think that's super neat.
It's a good thing she's a bounty hunter and not a line cook, because that means she wouldn't be able to walk into the walk-in freezer and cry. Sure, anyone who's worked in a restaurant has had their turn doing that. But yeah, the SAX turns into X-Core with the ice beam. But yeah, if you thought it hit hard to start with, then you have ice beam to deal with after that, and it will tear you apart if you're not careful. Luckily, at that point, the X-Parasites aren't really the worst to deal with. They're just kind of tedious. There is actually a neat trick for the regular X-Cores, where if you time 2 missile shots correctly so that the X-Parasite moves into the hitbox of both missiles, then it deals 2 missiles worth of damage to it at the same time. It's kind of hard to do, it's mostly a speedrunning trick, but yeah, if you line up 2 missile shots so that the X-Parasite flies into both missiles at the same time on the same frame, then both missiles hit it. It's probably easiest to do as the Core X is forming after you defeat a boss, because it's it doesn't have a hitbox yet, so you can fire a missile up through it and then fire a second missile as it solidifies, and then the hitbox is there and it hits both of them, so you just get 2 free missile hits right off the bat. You think of the environments of the BLS laboratory that the game takes place in.
I liked how varied they were, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like, each unit basically had its own completely different biome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for being a research station.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a total of 6 sectors. There's SRX, which is based off of SR388, the Metroid homeworld.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 2, which is like a tropical sector. 3, which is a underwater sector. 4, which is a like dry desert sector. 5 is a frozen ice sector. And then 6 is like a nighttime nocturnal sector. Kind of imitating a cave-like environment, really.
It's cool because it makes it make sense for why they make certain regions that you can't get to without various upgrades, armor upgrades. Like obviously you can't really navigate the water stage without the water sector without Samus's gravity suit.
Yeah.
And there's a cold one, right?
Yep. It's Sector 5. It's the Arctic
obviously
sector.
can't get through that without what's the upgrade for that? Varia suit?
Yep. Yeah, the Varia suit serves as a dual purpose in Metroid Fusion. In Super Metroid, it just protected you from extreme heat environments, but in Fusion, it protects you from both extreme heat and extreme cold because of the aforementioned part Metroid weak to cold. Yeah, that is kind of further the incentive to explore in what is otherwise kind of a linear Metroid game. There is 5 levels of security locks on the doors in the ship, starting at level 0 and going up through level 4. And they're all represented with different colors, sort of like the different colored doors in Super Metroid that require different things to open, except they're not like missile doors or power bomb doors or super missile doors. You just have to find the right level security clearance to unlock them. And along with the security there's also a security robot that's kind of lurking around the place because, security for a research installation. Gee, I wonder why they would need that. Are they doing something they shouldn't? Yeah, you have a couple encounters with this rogue security robot, the box.
I hated that thing.
Yeah. The first encounter with it is bad, but I think the second encounter with it is worse. You're kind of deep in Sector 6, you just stumble across a restricted area that wasn't previously marked on your map, and then it shows up to apprehend the person accessing this restricted area. And the room that it's in has water in it. And since this robot is malfunctioning, it electrifies the water. So you have to like hang from a ceiling track in order to not get zapped by electrified water, and it shoots homing missiles at you, which, not great. Yeah. Box and X box are 2 of my least favorite fights.
Agreed. I mean, other than SAX. Honestly, no. I think these are worse.
Yeah.
SAX has the factor of, oh my gosh, I'm fighting myself, which is super cool.
Yeah. You get to fight what is essentially Samus fully powered from Super Metroid at the end of the game.
But yeah, the robots
Yeah.
did not like. Especially that second one.
Yeah.
He's electrocuting the water. I don't think that's in the previous one, in the first one.
Nope. Your first encounter is in the pyro sector.
Right.
And
He jumps around much more. You have to stay on the ceiling.
yep.
I'm looking at a video that's all the bosses, and I'm looking at the security robot fight, and I didn't even think to try shooting diagonally down with missiles.
Yeah, that's
I was only
kinda how
doing
you
it
have.
from directly above.
Yeah,
which
it's
I'm
a
sure
lot
made it way worse,
easier.
but
It's a lot easier in the first fight against him to go with like aiming directly down at it. But yeah, the definitely the play is to aim diagonally the second time.
yeah, this was a struggle for me.
Yep.
Nightmare was the only boss that I beat that I had the issue of like I got to the end and then I didn't have enough life to beat it completely. Like I get it to the last phase and then I was stuck like without rewinding all the way to restart the fight. Like I would rewind just a bit and not have enough life to make it through the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
There was another boss.
First time I played through Fusion way back in high school, it's like that happened quite a few times where like I could beat the boss proper, but then I would die on trying to beat the core X because
Mm-hmm.
you know what this boss fight needs? A second boss fight.
Right. Oh, Neal Ridley was the other one that I had that to an extent.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, I forget which Discord this was on. It might have been TOGP. Somebody posted a gifs you can hear, and then had a gif of Neal Ridley.
That sounds like
I never
something.
got that. Never got that until playing this boss, and oh my god, I now hear it.
Yep.
What a sound!
Yeah. Neil Ridley makes the most horrendous nailed on a chalkboard screech.
Yes.
Kind of tempted to go online and get a sound of that and add it to our soundboard for just like a couple days to annoy people.
Oh, that'd be great.
Gotta quick do that before the episode comes out.
Yep. The weekly Kingdom Hearts stream would love that.
Colin's like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Yeah, really outside of Ridley though, like the music and the sounds of the game otherwise are great.
Pretty dang good for an advanced game, yeah.
Yeah. I like that each sector has its own like unique soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Another big upgrade is that each boss has its own theme too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They do a very good job of like conveying the feel of the boss fight too.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely some good like ambient music of like maybe not ambient, but like when like they fit the mood of what's going on. There's some soundtracks that are like very like you feel like you're tiptoeing around because you know something's about to happen.
Yeah, like things tend to get very stealthy sounding when the SAS is around.
Stealth. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. The initial theme music for the Arctic sector is like peak ice music.
Mm-hmm.
Like right up there with Ocarina of Time, Ice Caverns, like my favorite ice level music.
Mm-hmm. And it's impressive too, because Game Boy Advance was known for not having the greatest. It didn't have a sound chip, was the thing.
Yeah. Like everything was software produced essentially.
Mm-hmm. And like there's definitely a lot of Game Boy Advance games that don't sound great, especially if they're trying to emulate SNES stuff.
Yeah.
Or Genesis stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we got we've got representation for both 16-bit consoles there with bad sound. Yeah, like Sonic Genesis did not translate well to the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Like the Super Mario Advance games, honestly, like I know they're sort of based off of like the Super Mario All-Stars versions of was that 2, 3, World, I
Yoshi's
think
Island.
Yoshi's Island. Yeah.
Yep.
Like they the music just isn't the same. Like and I mean there's places where I kind of prefer the original NES chiptune versions of the songs versus like the Super Mario All-Stars versions, but like yeah, the Game Boy Advance is like a step further beyond that. But yeah, I think that Metroid Fusion does an excellent job of playing to like the Game Boy Advance's sound capabilities.
Yeah. So a lot was
For
this
as
a
much
launch
as
title?
I don't believe it was.
But it's definitely earlier.
Yeah.
Correct. Fusion come up. That's not enough info for it. What year did Metroid Fusion come out? 2002, November 17th, 2002, to be a release. Okay, so it was a year and a half after the launch of the GBA. So that's actually pretty impressive. Because there's definitely like later GBA games where the composers have figured out better sounds to pick. We mentioned Mother 3. Mother 3 definitely has a really solid sounding soundtrack. But Sonic Battle is one that comes to mind as well. That managed heavy rock sounds real good. But both of those are like much later in its life. So yeah, I am surprised at how good it sounds for probably being the Metroid developer's first GBA game.
Yeah. Yeah. I do kind of feel like maybe the soundtrack in this game isn't quite as memorable as other Metroid games, but
Yeah.
When you've got Super Metroid and Metroid Prime to contend against for like quality music, like for as good as I think the Arctic sector's like frozen ice music is, like it's no Phendrana Drifts. Like even the tropical sectors music, like it's no Green Brinstar from Super Metroid. Right, the like main facility like theme kind of lives rent free in my head though for some reason. It's got that sort of like classic or like NES Metroid Brinstar feel to it for me, so it's just kind of always stuck with me though. So that's another favorite of mine. Breaking up the game by environment type, like as opposed to just like you've entered a different region of the planet that Samus happens to be on, was kind of a nice take.
It's definitely very beginner friendly.
Yes.
As far as navigating a game like this goes.
Yeah.
Honestly, the level design is actually super cool. Like, I know it's not SNES Metroid, but like, especially like the first half of the game, I found myself being like, whenever I'd hit a save room, it would be right where I wanted to have a save room or a recharge room. And also it had this cool way, because like, it's way more linear, but you do backtrack a lot. And like you'll go through a recharge room and then a save room, and you're like, that was the perfect time for that. But then when we have to go back through it, it's also the perfect time for a recharge room and a save room.
Yeah.
Which it is impressive.
Yeah, as weird as it sounds, it's linear in like the most Metroidvania fashion.
Yes. Right.
It's like a lot of the time, Adam, the AI computer that Samus has named after her like father figure from
Mhm.
the
Other
Galactic
M?
Federation military. Yes, other
Can I
M.
mention other M?
Yep, that game exists.
It does.
Yeah, we should go back and discuss that a bit later from now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. A lot of like Adam's role in this game is to like direct Samus to the data rooms where she can download upgrades to help combat the X parasites on the
Mhm.
ESL ship. Um, so there is a lot of like enter a sector, go find the data room to download your upgrade, and then the
Mhm.
path back from the upgrade to the navigation room to go talk to Adam again presents you with ample opportunity to explore and try out the
Mhm.
new thing that you just got.
Right.
After you fight Saris and you get the speed booster from it, like the game presents you with opportunities to try out the speed booster, whether it be running up to speed booster speed or like there's a couple opportunities in there where you can even shine spark in places. Um, and speaking of shine sparking, there is one sequence break in Metroid Fusion, and it's like sequence break in air quotes because it's sort of an officially sanctioned Easter egg, actually. Um, and you can see this in the long play that I put up on my YouTube channel of Metroid Fusion. Um, After you fight the nightmare and you end up in the aquatic sector, um, there is a shine spark chain a very, very precise shine spark chain that you can pull off that will let you get back to the navigation room at the beginning of the aquatic sector without collecting the diffusion missiles. And if you do, then a special conversation will occur between Adam and this mysterious government entity from the Galactic Federation that you see pop up one other time with his sort of like malicious intent of Samus doesn't know what's going on or suspect anything, right?
Mhm.
Right. So yeah, they show up again and they're impressed with Samus's ability to solve that puzzle without happening to collect the intended upgrade, which is neat. It's also incredibly difficult to do. The timing windows for the shine sparks in this case are like near frame perfect. Uh, yeah. But it does allow you to exploit a unique mechanic or new mechanic for shine sparking in this game where like Super Metroid where shine sparking was first introduced, if you shine sparked into a diagonal upward slope, then you would just kind of continue shine sparking along the slope. But in Metroid Fusion, it has been changed so that um, when you shine spark into a slope, you will re-enter the speed booster running state, which gets used throughout like some of the more hidden areas of each sector for like doing 100% completion. Um,
Mhm.
because yeah, unlike you know more traditional Metroid games, 100% completion in this game relies entirely on how many energy tanks, missiles, and power bombs you collect.
Mm-hmm.
The upgrades that you get from the data stations and the core X don't count towards your item completion.
Right.
So item collection in this game is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is possible to beat this game with 0%.
Weird.
Yeah.
That sounds rough.
Yeah. So you've got what I think 10 power bombs, 10 missiles, and 99 energy to work with for some of the more difficult bosses like Nightmare and Neo Ridley X and the SAX. uh, yeah, yeah. Technically, without major glitches, like it's only humanly possible to collect as low as 1% because of Bob, the unskippable missile pack in the pyro sector, which is yeah. It's that missile in the morph ball tunnel that you have to collect on your first visit.
Right. I definitely liked how missiles and energy packs were, where like to some degree, like the main route that you have to take is a little obtuse, but then if you explore even harder, you start finding the extra energy tanks and missile packs, which I think is kind of like the SNES version. But
Yeah.
it's definitely if you want to take more time, you end up with more energy.
Yeah. Yeah, the game or for as linear as the story is, the game very much rewards you for doing exploration.
Yeah. Like I definitely it more feels like it tells you where to go, but not how to get there.
Yeah. It's a very good beginner's Metroidvania.
Yes. And I do Colin mentioned this in the opening bit that like it's probably because it's on this Game Boy Advance and you're going to be putting this down, you know, for an amount of time, anywhere from, like more than a week to, just a couple hours, but it still helps to be able to hit pause and see where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
Or run into Adam and be like, tell me what I need to do again, or what I need to do now. And considering I was playing this on a Switch and putting it down for long amounts of time between my lunch break and when I got home, this was very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like one of a handful of Game Boy games or Game Boy Advance games that I know of that includes the sleep functionality.
Yeah, I was weirded out by that. I never tried it on the Switch because I didn't want to break anything.
Yeah.
I definitely hit the L button enough times.
Yeah, it's kind of unnecessary on the Switch because you can just hit the home button to go into sleep mode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Metroid Zero Mission and interestingly Mother 3, the game that I've been playing most recently, also have that functionality.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that way you
That makes
can
sense.
yeah, it's not every Game Boy Advance game has it, but like it lets
No.
you sort of put your Game Boy Advance to sleep or into a hibernate mode. Like,
Mm-hmm. Very nice on an SP because an SP
yeah,
did not do what the DS does, where it just auto sleeps it when you close it. Your game was still running if you didn't turn it on.
yeah.
Yeah.
But not great if you need to stop to keep your game from dying.
Mm-hmm. And not completely related to Metroid Fusion, but I believe there was a version of the SP that came out, like a second edition of the SP that just had a sleep button on it, if I recall correctly, because one of my friends in school had that on his newer than mine SP.
I know there was a second version that had a brighter backlight, so I wonder if maybe that had that extra function. Or perhaps it was a function of the Game Boy Micro, because I never owned one of those to know.
I have never seen a Game Boy Micro in person other than in the store.
Yep.
In which case it was in a box.
Yep.
I never saw one physically.
Yeah. They are small.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe there was like a NES controller edition that sort of stylized the Micro after the like NES controller, but like, it's even smaller than an NES controller.
Maybe I'm incorrect according to Google. There's some Reddit people talking about the Game Boy Advance SP does not sleep when I close the shell. People are like, that's not an error. your Game Boy is supposed to do that.
Yeah. It's not a laptop.
Nope.
Yeah. It's also not a DS, which also does that.
Mm-hmm.
And really, the DS is actually where my copy of Metroid Fusion lived for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I believe that's where my copy of Metroid Fusion is right now, is in my DS Lite in my living room. One of my favorite Game Boy Advance games that I own. I actually kind of like it better than Zero Mission. Not to say that I dislike Zero Mission, but I do like the way that Fusion plays better than it. Notably, Metroid Fusion's wall jumping is very, I would say it's probably more friendly than Super's wall jumping, but Zero Mission's wall jumping is flat out broken. Mainly in the amount of horizontal distance you get from the walls in the games. Metroid Fusion wall jumps lock you into horizontal movement away from the wall far enough to where infinite single wall jumping isn't a thing. And
yeah,
that was
that.
useful for a good few things in Super Metroid, but it is downright broken in Metroid Zero Mission, where Metroid Zero Mission's wall jumping, you barely move away from the wall at all, so it's super easy in that game to chain together continuous single wall jumps. And since that game is based off of Metroid 1's very vertical level design, it kind of detracts away from that. That being said, wall jumping, just like in Super Metroid, is a completely optional mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of wall jumping, though, the animals are here again.
Yeah.
And
yeah, about halfway or so through the game, you get to reunite with the Edicoons and the Dakora from Super Metroid. The little monkey critters that teach everyone but Colin how to wall jump, and the big ostrich that teaches you how to shine spark. Yeah, they they end up saving you at the end to kind of repay.
Yeah, I was gonna say
to repay you for taking the time to rescue them at the end of Super Metroid, like everyone definitely did.
No, I very much enjoy that. Where you previously saved the animals in this game, like in Soviet Russia, the animals save you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice touch at the very end of the game after you fight the Omega Metroid. What's an Omega Metroid doing here? Metroids are supposed to be extinct.
Yeah, okay, so the bastards at this research station have tubes of lit Metroids still there that they're growing. Not only that, but very early in the game, you can find Ridley on ice. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What's this big Ridley popsicle doing here? And then later on, it's, where did you get all of these Metroids? They're all supposed to be dead.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. As it turns out, the BSL Laboratories space station was been used for cloning Metroids so that the Galactic Federation Council can use them for their own purposes. Yeah.
Like, I knew that was going to happen because I had seen a Let's Play of this game long ago, and it's Metroid, but I was still like, God dang it.
Yeah.
What are you doing, GFC?
Guys, we've talked about this. Metroids are dangerous.
And I guess since we're in getting towards spoiler territory anyway, they also want to save the X-perience.
Yeah. Like, they saw that there was a X-parasite copy of Samus, and were like,
yep. We can have an army of Samuses now.
We need a couple of those. We're just gonna secretly stop sending Samus equipment upgrades, and well, it ends up that the X-parasites that are copying Samus's equipment have, like, kinda helped Samus in a way.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, they realize, I guess, are they realizing they're going to be destroyed? But they're not. It's weird.
Yeah. At very least, the SAX recognizes that the Omega Metroid that's running around the station now is a bad thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because the Metroids are parasites, or the parasites' main predator.
Only natural predator. Yep. So yeah, of course they're not happy to see Metroids either. Yeah. Shortly after you stumble across the Metroids in the restricted laboratory area of Sector 6, after fighting the Xbox. Yep. Yeah, I wonder if they were trying to do something cleverly subliminal with that one.
Maybe. Blow up the Xbox on your Gameboy Advance.
Yep. I mean, it must have worked. There's still never been an Xbox handheld. Yeah, there's this laboratory full of Metroids in containment tubes, and then suddenly the SAX is there trying to destroy these Metroids. And you actually get to watch it get eaten alive in real time. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, this had some solid... They're not necessary cutscenes, because a lot of them you can control stuff.
Yeah.
Which I like. Especially the SAX cutscenes early on in the game where you're, like, terrified of the SAX.
Yeah. Like, they do a really good job of, like, inducing fear to you.
Yep. Something they continued in Dread. You have this thing around that you have to be careful not to run into, because you're pretty much dead if you face it.
Yep.
But
honestly, that's the way it goes with the SAX all the way until the end of the game.
The end. And seeing as I never beat it, like, still, it's really, really formidable.
Yeah. Yeah. Fully equipped for that final SAX encounter, like, it's still a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of that is thanks to the ice beam because, well, you're a Metroid now. A thing that gets further explored upon in Metroid Dread.
Yes.
A game that was originally supposed to come out on the Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
And
that would have been neat.
It would have been neat, but also, like, having played through Metroid Dread as many times as I have, like, it's kind of I don't know how they would be able to pull off a game like that on the Game Boy Advance. Of course, there's like 14 years time difference between a game on the Switch and the Game Boy Advance, so I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that was a large reason why Dread didn't get released on the Game Boy Advance, is because they wanted so much scope.
Yeah.
They didn't shadow drop Dread, but it was like a surprise. We already have a bunch of this game put together.
Yeah.
When that was announced.
Yeah. Of course, also interestingly enough, Metroid Fusion was originally planned as a Game Boy Color game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that would have been interesting as well. The Game Boy Color was still largely an original Game Boy, just with extra hardware for handling color palettes.
Yeah, I think if Fusion had gotten released on a Game Boy Color, it would have been seen in the same light that Metroid 2 is, of like, this is a really good Game Boy game, but it's also a Game Boy game trying to do Metroid, which is a bit...
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. Like, not that Metroid 2 is a bad game necessarily, but like it is not much of a step higher than the original NES Metroid by comparison.
Yeah. Adam's a cool character.
Yes.
I like Adam's twist.
Yeah.
That's probably the main thing I remember from Metroid Fusion. Watched a Let's Play is the twist of, oh, that actually is Adam.
Yeah.
However, that memory probably got compounded because Other M did happen. But let's wait to talk about Other M.
Yeah.
How it's displayed here sounds really cool.
Yeah. That was definitely a twist that I wasn't expecting for my first time playing through this game. Was that like,
yeah,
oh haha, the Samus named the computer after her simulated dad.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually
Adam uploaded to a computer, which apparently is something they do on a regular basis. It says at the end of the game.
Yeah. Which, at the time seemed neat, but man, in today's modern age of generative AI, yeah, the kind of, modern generative AI has kind of ruined the ending of Metroid Fusion for me because, like,
I don't know about that. I don't feel like it's. I think this is a technology completely different because it's so far flung in the future, or I don't know if it's necessarily future, but it's so advanced technology. Like this is probably literally converting brain waves into computer waves.
Probably.
Roboticizing.
Yeah.
Old leaders. No, but no, I definitely thought it was cool, and definitely think
it's cool, but I still can't help feel kind of gross about it at the same time.
Yeah, I can see that. Can't say I would have thought of that about it on my own, though.
Yeah.
But I also think Adam's response when Samus first says Adam to it is like, oh. Which is interesting because you think he'd be like,
yeah, it's like, oh, you've thought of me that way this entire time.
But no, it's a cool twist in a game that doesn't have much story, which is kind of impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, like everyone refers to Metroid Fusion as like the story-driven Metroid, but like
Yeah.
for as linear and air quotes story-driven as it is, it really doesn't have a ton of story to it.
Mm-hmm. Although I will say, I was when you go up the elevators, like every time they do that, after there was some sort of like something notable at the last navigation room, I was like, please be a cutscene with Samus going up the elevator and have some comment, and then there wouldn't, and I'd be like, darn it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I enjoyed the essentially like or Samus having shower thoughts about the things during the elevator transitions.
Yes.
That was a fun touch.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Um, I don't know. Because that opening cutscene is pretty dang good too.
Oh yeah.
Did the SNES Metroid have a Super Metroid have cutscenes to the same degree? I want to say it did.
No, not even close, really. Like it had a text scroll, and then it would show a little snippet of action, and then it would do another
Right.
text scroll. Like, yeah, it shows Samus telling you about fighting Mother Brain for the first time, and then she tells you about finding the baby Metroid, and then she tells you about how she brought the baby Metroid to Ceres Station, and then
Yeah.
it's like, as I was leaving Ceres Station was under attack.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it has a cutscene for what is this, 1990 something? Um,
94.
but yeah, 94. We get our kind of line. The last Metroid is in captivity. The rest died. No, the galaxy is at peace. That's definitely what happened. But yeah, Fusion steps it up with the kind of like a whole introductory cutscene, um, which I like a lot. Definitely beats a text scroll.
It got more of a cutscene treatment than Prime did, and Prime was a full 3D game.
Okay, we're talking about cutscene. I guess now is a good play time for Other M.
Yeah.
I have never played Other M. I have not seen cutscenes or gameplay either. Too much. But boy, does that game have a reputation that I've heard a lot about.
It does. And gameplay wise, I enjoyed Metroid Other M, but like story wise, the game doesn't really give you much different than what Metroid Fusion gives you.
Yeah.
Like instead of working with the BSL laboratories, you're working directly with Adam's troop of Galactic Federation Council troopers. The space station that the game takes place on, the bottle ship, is very reminiscent of the BSL laboratories ship, where it's divided up into 3 different sectors, one of which, or 4 different sectors if you include the restricted zone that has Metroids in it that they clone from the baby Metroid.
Oh, great.
Yep. There's also Surprise Ridley is back. Just like in Fusion. Because
Can't have a Metroid game without a Metroid.
Yep.
Yeah. And apparently not Ridley either.
As it turns out, the bottle ship was used for biological experimentation, including trying to breed and control Metroids, and then also they happen to have cloned many species from like planet Zebes, including a new clone of Ridley.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, and Adam is there in person, and he is giving you all of the instructions directly.
Right.
And until
He's
yeah,
you have the reason you can't use all your powers is because Adam only
Yep.
allows you to use certain ones. Is how that goes.
Yep. Because Samus decides to, in the most literal of senses, like follow the GFC's exact instructions. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, kudos to them for coming up with something different.
yeah,
Like they were gonna have to do something for that to happen because that's just part of the game mechanics of Metroid.
yep. Yeah, my
So
consensus
it's
on Other M is that the gameplay is enjoyable, but the storyline exists.
yeah, the storyline drags it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are also like critical of how Samus is portrayed in Other M
Mhm.
because they say that
I heard that.
she's kind of just like whiny and isn't like the usual badass that Samus is in every other Metroid game, but also like
Mhm.
this game is like, or Other M takes place literally hot off the heels of Super Metroid. Like the opening
Right.
cutscene shows Samus's like being taken care of by the Galactic Federation fresh off of planet Zebes from
Mhm.
fighting Mother Brain.
Yeah. She's a bit traumatized and
Yeah.
she is obsessed with the baby bit.
Yep.
Is that where the meme comes from, or is it just
Yes.
in general? It is Other M specifically? The
Yeah.
baby?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the opening of the game, I found the game script once and I control F'd and found the baby.
Uh-huh.
I think it's like 17 times in the opening cutscene it
Seem
was
alone.
the baby was mentioned.
Jeez.
Yep.
Uh,
But
at least
yeah,
we got a meme out of it.
yeah. And all things considered, it would be pretty traumatizing to see that this like infant Metroid that had imprinted on you and saw you as its mother get destroyed right in front of your eyes. Like you would have emotions about that even if you were a badass bounty hunter like Samus.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking as a parent of two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think it makes sense.
Yep.
Like how she
It's like
feels.
yeah. Like any harm happening to your kids right in front of your eyes is a recipe to get incredibly emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Move on to final thoughts.
I think so.
It's a good
Yeah.
game.
It is a good
Oh
game.
shoot. No. I
Oh.
do I got a note here. The space jump. Does anybody else find the space jump in this game kind of hard to do?
No.
I don't remember it being worse than Super Metroid Space Jump.
It's
I don't
better than
remember
Super Metroid Space
Super
Jump.
Space Jump. Oh, now I gotta pull up
Yeah.
Super Metroid. I had the
Yeah.
roughest time, especially initially.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting because they really made the space jump a lot more forgiving in Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
Great.
So one of the new features they added to the game's engine was the ability to respin while in midair.
Yeah.
So you could shoot, then press the jump button again, and Samus will start going back into her spin jump state. And unlike in Super Metroid, there's no like fall cutoff for when you can re-space jump.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a bit of like timing to it, and sometimes if you touch a wall, you have to doesn't quite work. Like I definitely had issues when like there was a vertical vertical hallway above you, and you had to get up into it, and especially when it was like a very skinny hall. Um, that like I would hit the side of the walls and I wouldn't quite get there. I don't know. I got better as the game went along, but I had a rough time.
I could see that, and I think some of that also might be to do with the fact that wall jumping gets disabled after you get the space jump, if I remember correctly.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
I might be misremembering, but you don't really need to wall jump once you get the space jump. So
yeah, definitely a thing of like once I got used to it, I was good at it, but at the same time, like when I picked the game back up after a while, I had to get used to it again, if you know what I mean. Like not as long, but like there's a little bit of okay, gotta relearn how to do this.
Yep.
But
I can see that.
Everything else made a lot of sense. I did find myself with the not super missiles. What was the charge missiles called?
The diffusion missiles.
The diffusion missiles. My instinct was to like to fire them was just to release the R button because that's the way the charge beam worked. Was you just released the fire button?
Yep.
Fortunately, with rewinds, that didn't become a problem, but it did throw me off, and I found myself doing that. Not the hardest thing though.
Yeah. Personally, I found the diffusion missiles to be kind of a disappointing upgrade.
Yeah. There's a couple areas where they change things, or you can get through them differently.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yep.
The diffusion missiles oddly were like a traversal upgrade more than a weapon upgrade.
Yeah. Like you use those to escape from the data room in the aquatic sector, and that's the only place you're required to use diffusion missiles for their intended purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you use those because the plot demands you do for one place, and then they just
Yeah. But no. That's all I got on my notes.
Yeah. Overall, I enjoy Metroid Fusion. It's I think probably up there with Super and Dread for like my top 3 of the 2D Metroids.
I definitely feel like I clicked with this game faster than Super Metroid. And definitely it did help that it was that more linear version of Metroid.
Yeah. It's a good car trip game.
Yeah.
I
know. If you've got,
I played through Metroid Fusion a lot on like car trips up to Grandma's house over in Greenville many times. But the linearity of it also makes for a good speedrunning game because you don't really have to think about where you have to go because the game tells you.
Right. We've said earlier this is a good starter Metroid. I think this is, if you're going to play Metroid for the first time, this is probably the one to play. Unless you want to play Prime, maybe. But 2D Metroid wise,
yes,
this is the one to play. So if you've got the what is it called? The NSO Advance pack or whatever it is, expansion pack. This is a good Metroid game to play, and it works really well on the Switch because you can put your Switch down, and the game is built around that anyway. So, but I need to play Zero Mission now.
It's pretty good.
I enjoyed this one to the point of other than some bosses and that's about it. I enjoyed
Ridley's screeches in Zero Mission aren't nearly as bad.
That's good to know. Colin, edit it in there instead of me.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we move along?
Yeah.
It's time.
To our weekly link to the past. This week, there's a game that turns 26 years old on today's
Never
date of
heard of
recording,
this.
October 12th. Battle Tanks Global Assault for the Nintendo 64.
Ah, yeah.
I love this game.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games growing up. It's so much fun. It's just, you got a bunch of tanks that you get to choose from. You got destructible environments, and you just go around and you blow stuff up and you blow up other tanks. It's a good game.
Yeah. Love a good multiplayer tank experience.
It was very fun. Like I said, it's one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games. It's just good fun. And there was a PlayStation version that wasn't as good for some reason. It was like a completely different game. Not a completely different
Yeah.
game, but it was a different game.
Notably here, after this game, 3DO went bankrupt.
Nice.
Not because it was a bad game or anything, but just I think 3DO was probably on its last legs.
Yeah, they went from the Panasonic hardware division making the 3DO game console to being a dedicated development studio for like the Army Men games and then Battle Tanks, and then yeah, they didn't survive that console generation.
Yeah.
The Army Men games were also very good.
Yeah.
I think we had we had Sarge's Heroes for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
Yeah, I remember playing Sarge's Heroes multiplayer over at a friend's house back in elementary.
So good. They need to bring back games like that instead of more Call of Duties and Battlefields.
Yeah.
We've had pretty much any variation on first-person shooters at this point. Give us tanks.
Yep. Do it for Sabaton. They would like tanks too.
Yes. Nowadays we got World of Tanks, but it's not the same. This is fun, futuristic, post-apocalyptic, arcadey tank warfare. That's what we want. But anyway, happy 26th birthday to Battle Tanks Global Assault.
Yeah.
That's the end of episode 83. Lucas, where can you be found outside the podcast?
Find me on Linktree at linktr.ee/karn_evil_999. It's got links to my socials, mainly Blue Sky, my YouTube channel where I upload long plays of the games we talk about in our That One Game episodes of That One Gaming podcast, Metroid Fusion coming soon, as well as the remainder of Final Fantasy IV, our previous episode, because it's actually just been that little amount of time and that many parts for Final Fantasy IV.
Wow.
Yep. And yeah, you can also add me on Steam if you so desired. You can see all of the fun games that I play on there. And of course, links to join our podcast Discord server and catch up on our backlog of episodes, because there's 82 more that you could be listening to after this. That's all available at linktr.ee/karn_evil_999.
Yeah, where can Neal be found?
I am also on Linktree, linktr.ee/bmk89. I also have links to, well, just my Twitter as far as socials go, but also podcast links, my old YouTube channel, and most notably, my link to my Twitch, where I stream Minecraft every Monday at around 7 p.m. Eastern. It happens pretty much every Monday, so come check that out. I always have at least one friend on with me. So yeah, it's a good time. Come watch. Colin, where can they find you?
linktr.ee/delicious morsels. That's where my links are. They're in the trees. You can go there for all of my links, like my YouTube channel and my Blue Sky and the stuff like that. But anyway, as always, if you liked what you heard here today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button where that's an option. leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because I hear they like that stuff. Hit the like button if that's a thing, and feel free to share this episode with a friend. We are going to be back in a couple of weeks with another episode. But until then, have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember,
Play for the Metroids.
Stay for the X-parasites.
and watch out for Ridley screams.